Hello, everybody. Amanda Davis here, and I am here to make a difference by teaching what I know and sharing with you what I know. And I just wanted to come on really quickly and talk about what good customer service looks like. So, my first tip, I'm doing it already, is to smile and be friendly. Hello, thank you for popping on. Is to smile and be friendly and be approachable. So, my first tip is to smile and be friendly. My second tip is to be approachable. You want people to realize that you are somebody that they can come to if they have a question or if they just, they want to ask. Well, basically, if they have a question, they don't want to be afraid to talk to you. And these tips can come in handy with online marketing as well as in-person marketing, because online you're doing like social media videos. Live video is a big tool nowadays. In fact, I'm using a live video right now. So live video is a big tool nowadays, and you don't want to be somebody on the live video that people don't want to watch. And I think one reason that I've been successful with my live video to an extent is the fact that I do have a friendly attitude. I do seem very approachable. And again, I'm always smiling. And I know that I actually did get hired in a customer service position several years ago. It was in 2010. But the manager in the restaurant that I was hired in, he said, "Do you know why I hired you?" And I said, I don't know. And he said, "It's because of your smile." And he just liked the fact that during the interview I was smiling and seemed like I was a happy person, and that he felt, and I mean, and I would be that way too. Like whenever people would come in the restaurant, I'd always say, "Hello, how are you today?" And, give them that little bit of a smile. And sometimes that smile brightens somebody's day. And so that's going to be my major, major tip, is being friendly and having that approachable attitude. And then the other tip is going to be you want to make sure, especially with online marketing, that you can do prompt responses when people reach out to you. So like if they are on a platform like Periscope or Facebook Live, then, I know Periscope, somebody can tweet you at your Twitter or send you a private message on Twitter. And so my Twitter is at Amanda Beauty Tip, the same name that I use on Periscope. And I definitely, if I see a private message come through, I'm going to be honest, private message is probably a little bit better than just tweeting me outright, because I see the private messages come through and I don't always catch a tweet. And in fact, private message may be the best way for pretty much anyone. If you're trying to reach somebody you're watching on Periscope and you have a question and they tell you their Twitter, or that their Twitter is the same as their Periscope, which a lot of them are, that's going to be a good way to reach them. And then on Facebook Live, most business pages and personal pages have the messenger tool as well. And so messages and also comments on the video. And I don't know how well the comments on the video would work on Twitter, although it could be a way on Twitter, but definitely on Facebook Live. Comments are on the video are a great way to get the person to, to answer your question. And so if you get a comment on your video or somebody DMs you, you want to make sure that you're having as prompt a response as possible. So I'm going to say within 24 hours, and I'm going to say within 24 hours because people do have to realize that we do have lives. And, and plus, especially like if they're going to send you a message at 2 a.m., it's great they sent you that message, but if you're asleep because you might work a full-time job or you're trying to do something in the daytime versus in the middle of the night, it's okay to wait until the next morning or midday the next day or even the next evening to respond to them. And and if you feel like you need to explain why it took so long, go ahead, but you don't necessarily need to explain why it took so long. People do realize that we do have lives and families and that kind of thing, but you definitely want to try to do it within 24 hours, because anything longer than that, people know that with social media nowadays, we're getting the notifications on our phone and we're getting them pretty immediately. And so they know that if you took like 2 or 3 or 4 days without a good explanation, you may not necessarily want them on your team or in your, to get your product or that kind of thing. And the other thing is, when you are interacting with potential customers, you want to be helpful and answer their questions. And so here's an example. Yesterday, I met with a person in person. So this was an in-person situation and not a social media situation, but it still could be applicable for social media. If somebody's sending you a message and they say, "Hey, I'm interested in such and such product. Can you tell me what it does?" Or, "Hey, I'm interested in what you have to offer me. Can you tell me what services you offer?" those kinds of things. So in this particular situation, since I am in a product-based business as an Avon representative, the person was asking me about our skincare products and was trying to figure out a replacement for something that she used many years ago that we've since discontinued. And so I sat down with her and I kind of went through our different product offerings and helped her pick out a couple of things that she might be able to try. I also gave her some samples that I had. And so I was trying to be helpful with the samples. I also was being helpful by answering her questions and guiding her through our products, and also just kind of telling her, you know, okay, so this is what your product was supposed to be used for. I looked it up on Google, and Google told me it was used for fine lines and wrinkles. So I pointed her in the right direction of some of our products that we currently offer that target that skincare. And she did thank me. I mean, I sat with her for about an hour, and she thanked me when I left, and she said, thank you for the little lesson. Thank you, you know, for coming and delivering, because I was delivering an order. And then I was answering some of her questions about other products that she was interested in. And she did thank me for that. And I also know that I have other customers that have done the same thing, if it wasn't skincare or something else, where they just said, thank you for your time, thank you for answering my question. And it wasn't all about the sale. Like a lot of it with me and my customers are, they become friends because I talk to them so much. And even if it's somebody that I might only sit down with for 5 minutes and not necessarily an hour, you know, maybe I sit down with them for 5 minutes, but if I sit down with them for 5 minutes every time that I meet with them, I mean, eventually you get to know them, you talk to them on the phone, that kind of thing, and they do become your friends. And that's where recommendations and referrals and, you know, just the continued support comes from. Like I had another customer that called me, and I haven't talked to this woman in a year, but she needed another perfume that we offer, and she found my information and she called me. And she called me because of the relationship that I had developed with her and the fact that she liked me and who I was, instead of just, you know, trying to find somebody else or contacting somebody else. So that's the other thing, you know, even if you aren't but so good about follow-up, and, you know, you let the people come to you, if they'll come back to you if you've established these friendly attitudes, being approachable, answering their questions, that kind of thing. And that's, of course, what you want. You want people to come back to you. The other thing is, because I know people that maybe didn't, thank you for the hearts, maybe didn't show interest to start with. They came to me because they knew I was a representative when they were looking for a product. So that's something else, you know, and it's not just Avon. Whatever company you're in, you want to make sure that you have the friendly attitude, that you're approachable, that you're answering questions about whatever you're offering, and that the people just feel like, you know, you can be their friend. And so that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I did see that my one viewer dropped off. I do appreciate you for being on. I also appreciate all the replay viewers. And I'm dual broadcasting this on Facebook Live, so I do appreciate all the Facebook Live people as well. And I hope that you found this video helpful, and I will see everybody next time. Bye, guys. Thanks again.